I'm autistic and ADHD, and I struggle with the number of decisions that one has to make in the course of a day. And I'm talking like tiny decisions, like I'm getting my socks out of the drawer. Which pair of socks do I get? But also, which sock do I put on first, left or right? Which way do I rotate the sock, anti-clockwise or clockwise, before I put it on? So in order to get over these kind of everyday dilemmas, I do things the same way every time. So I make a conscious decision that every time I put my sock on, I'm going to put my left one on first and then turn them round 3 times clockwise before putting them on. Before I was diagnosed autistic, I thought I was OCD because of the way that I did things like this. But now I'm starting to wonder if I am OCD at all. And as part of that, I'm realizing that not everyone seems to be making that number of decisions consciously every single moment. I spoke about this with my brother some years ago, and he very much got what I was talking about, but the trouble is he's autistic too, so that wasn't a very good test. And I spoke about it with my therapist this week, who is neurodivergent, and she understood, but we were kind of trying to make sense of it. And she said that, okay, so if you've made that decision that you're going to do it in the same way every time, does that mean that you can then do that task, like putting socks on, unconsciously, subconsciously, that you can leave it to your subconscious to kind of run the show? And I'm like, well, no, because actually every time I get a pair of socks out, I think about the way that I'm doing it. I mentioned this to my partner and he said, okay, so does it change? Does it become harder or easier, or are you thinking about it more consciously or less consciously if you're more stressed or less stressed? And I'm like, however calm I am, however stressed I am, I'm always aware of how I'm putting my sock on, or which way I'm moving the bottle of shampoo before I open it, or which hand I'm using to pick something up or put something down with, or when I enter the kitchen, am I turning clockwise or anti-clockwise to reach that thing from the cupboard? Those are conscious decisions to me every single moment of every day, which is exhausting. And I think I used to think, is that my fault then? And I'm not entirely sure how common this is to neurodivergence. So I would be really interested to know if you have a similar experience, because my fear is if I don't do it in this way, well then, do I have to turn the sock round 50 times today? Or do I turn it round to the left today and the right tomorrow? How do I manage that level of decision making and get through my morning? Yeah, please do let me know if you can relate to that, because it's not something I've actually talked about before, and it sounds a bit wacko as I'm talking about it, but that is my daily experience.